This is an amazing story that has emerged out of Vosloorus. It's a township on the southeast of Johannesburg. And the story that we've seen in the Karabo Centre is motivated teachers who believe their purpose is to reach beyond the classroom. And the Karabo Collective, in setting up their centre, have looked to give kids a head start in terms of improving their outlook through math, science and commerce.
My daughter was a product of Karabo, and when she was in matric, her performance changed. Karabo did miracles.
Karabo to me has shown me my background, where I come from, is not important, but what's important is where I'm going.
I matriculated back in 2013. I got 6 distinctions.
Karabo was birthed following the fortunate intersection of the lives of 3 young educators who met while teaching math and science in Vosloorus high schools. They were brought together in 2012 by a crisis meeting convened by the district office to discuss the poor results in their area.
In 2010 and 2011, we realized that of the 13 schools that are in Vosloorus, only 3 students got distinction in mathematics and only 1 got in physics. And that compromised their chances of going to universities to study engineering and health sciences.
It's a truism that in South Africa we suffer massive unemployment, running at about 30%. But within that 30%, if you focus on the youth as a segment, nearly 1 out of 2 young people are unemployed. And their prospects of securing employment is incredibly remote.
My success is not enough if I have to be building high walls around me simply because the person next door is poorer than I am. So the point there is that we need to be able to lift the entire generation if we can. And the little that we can do to support that is to set up this that is Karabo as a vehicle out of poverty.
Getting to university and graduating with a degree increases the prospects of a kid finding an opportunity, either creating their own job or being employed by multiples. So the success rate of Karabo, taking a cohort of learners and improving their results year on year, is a fantastic intervention and an intervention worth supporting.
The reason why I started Karabo with Mr. Foka and Mr. Tsesane was that we wanted to find a way to alleviate poverty in the townships. There's no money there, there's no wealth. So the only reasonable way would be to get people educated. And we wanted to make sure that the education matters. It was not just about getting good marks in all subjects. It was about getting good marks in subjects that can make them producers instead of being consumers. And we saw that math, science, accounting, those were key subjects.
South Africa, to its credit, spends more on education as a percentage of its GDP than most countries in the world. While there are more children in school than ever before, and while the literacy and matric pass rates have never been higher, the quality of our educational outcomes remain frustratingly poor.
When it comes to the level of work that they give us, it's not the same level of work as in our schools. It's about pushing and it's about you working hard and always maintaining that focus.
But as soon as you go to Karabo, you find that there's people who are actually 10 times better than you, and you try to level up, you try to make sure that I catch up to these people's levels. When you get to varsity, you kind of experience the same environment, but now you're used to being in such an environment that it's easy for you to blend in. You don't waste time comparing yourself to other people because you know you have to do this for yourself.
For many of those learners that manage to claw their way into university, the challenges are still far too great. Only 22% graduate in the regulated 3 years. This number increases to 39% in 4 years and 56% in 6 years.
I look back and say, I don't see my life without Karabo, because honestly, they gave me more than just education. They gave me life skills, they gave me motivation. They made sure that I understand what hard work is, and I am where I am today because of all the skills and values I learned from Karabo.
In direct contrast to what is happening in public schools, the Karabo Centre's teaching practice has had a remarkable impact on the performance of its learners. In the last 3 years, not only did it deliver a 100% pass rate, but every learner secured a bachelor pass and a place to study at a tertiary institution. The top 22 learners in the 2019 cohort secured an average mark of above 82% for all of their subjects, with some scoring in the high 90s and delivering 111 distinctions between them at an average of 5 distinctions per learner.
Here we have Karabo. It has changed the mindset that mathematics and science is for the elites.
The program has proven that it can fundamentally change the lives of poor learners to ensure that they are not consigned to a life of unemployment. By the end of 2019, some 400 Karabo alumni had successfully completed their university degrees and secured employment.
We are having an issue of space because we are in a township school, and so the classes, right now Karabo is crowded. So you find that in a class, maybe there are probably 60 learners.
The Karabo Centre wishes to scale up its operations to assist a greater number of learners. This model can be replicated across the country, but continued organic growth has been hampered by a lack of sustainable funding. The vast majority of learners are from very poor families and are not able to pay for the program. Their family resources are spent on transport to get them to and from the weekend and holiday school program.
So now he came up with the app. When they're teaching on that e-learning app, it's almost like they are present. Like it's like you can feel their presence. It's okay, they are there.
The whole idea of the app is how do we structure this in such a way that a grade 12 person has one space to actually go and see all the topics that they're doing, all the videos all in one. And it's more than just videos. It's how do you give them a classroom setting to actually feel like a teacher is teaching me and they have the time to understand everything and pause and go back. And it's structured in a way that it actually touches on the grade 12 curriculum.
The plan is to migrate the lessons that are taught face-to-face onto a digital platform to enable learners the opportunity to access quality teaching wherever they may be.
The whole idea of the app is how do we bring the Karabo learning experience into one place. So the app actually allows you to download. You can download video offline.
By August 2020, the entire grade 12 math and science syllabus will be uploaded ahead of the curriculum cycle to support learners returning to school after the lockdown. To facilitate access for learners to download the videos onto their phones, wireless hotspots are being established at supported schools. Learners will be able to view the primary learning material offline, at their schools, or at home. Chat groups and face-to-face study groups will be used to reinforce and deepen the learning, tutored by one of the Karabo alumni.
My appeal to you is to consider supporting Karabo in one of a number of ways. Possibly consider providing a scholarship per learner per year. Possibly consider providing a stipend for a teacher who teaches the holiday and Saturday classes. Or more importantly, consider coming behind the e-learning platform, which is looking to scale up the Karabo program from a single base in Vosloorus to creating other locations in other townships and using the e-learning platform as the bridge to scale. I would appeal to every one of you to consider this program as a program worthy of your support.